Hello and welcome back to Planet Nibiru. Well, it looks like we have yet another date for Doomsday, and this one is happening in a mere 3 days. Unlike some of the past events, this one is getting a lot of attention in mainstream media, and it's accompanied by a slew of other events happening around the world in the past 2 weeks that make it seem kinda possible. If you've been online the last few weeks, you've probably seen that the articles that are permeating every news website out there, Yahoo, The Sun, News.com, Fox News, CNN, New York Times, and the list goes on and on and on. They're all talking about the date September 23rd and the coming alignment that will occur on that date. Now, if you're a regular viewer, you already knew about the alignment because we've discussed that in the past. However, if we look at the current events, the story actually gets much deeper, and the alignment with this new information makes the whole thing a bit spookier than it was originally. The first rumblings around this date were a few years ago when folks started looking at the series of blood moons, or tetrad, that happened last year. The 4 blood moons were a rare occurrence, and the fact that they aligned perfectly with the tetrad Jewish holidays made them all the more foreboding. As with any happenings in the sky, apocalyptic theories abound when we witness major celestial events, i.e. blood moons, eclipses, comets, etc. There's always some type of apocalyptic theory when one of these transpires, some of them with merit and many without. However, the alignment that is going to take place in 3 short days happens only once every 7,000 years. So, that is why this one is so important. Well, it's part of the reason. The other part is that the alignment is supposedly referred to in the book of Revelations and speaks to the beginning of the end of the world. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of everything. So this is why many people think that it's either now or never. If it doesn't happen now, it won't happen for another 7,000 years. If this is true, we're either in for a pretty bad holiday season, or we're in the clear and our kids and our kids' kids and their kids and, well, you get the point. 7,000 years worth of in the clear. So, what is supposed to happen exactly? Well, many Christians believe that the rapture will occur soon after the alignment, and then we will see the events of Revelations begin to unfold. You know, the 4 horsemen, famine, pestilence, and all that stuff. Pretty much the worst thing you can think of multiplied by the biggest number you can think of, and you're on the right track. The quote from the Bible says, "And a great sign appeared in the heavens, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was pregnant and was crying out in the pains of birth." What this means is that we will see an alignment of heavenly bodies that looks kind of like this. We have the woman, who is Virgo, in the sky, which is the heavens, along with the sun, and the moon at her feet. And, oh yeah, what about the 12 stars in her crown? Well, virtually everybody that's pointing to this says that there are only 9 stars in Leo. But with the addition of the 3 planets that'll be there, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, which will be shining bright and appear as stars, that makes 12 stars. So, this rounds out the alignment, and this alignment, as we said, only occurs once every 7,000 years. And that is why many Christians believe it will herald the end time spoken of in Revelations. Others believe that we will collide with planet Nibiru, or Planet X, soon after the alignment. Why do they believe this? Well, without going into a full-on dissertation on Planet X, we'll take a brief look on why people think that Planet X is in the neighborhood in the first place. First and foremost, NASA has plainly stated that there is a 10th planet out there. Well, a 9th if you don't count Pluto. I kind of like Pluto, so I count it. And this 10th planet is quite massive. So massive that it causes other planets to deviate from their normal path around the sun. About 60 years ago, an article ran in Popular Science magazine that stated scientists had indeed found this massive planet, and it was due to arrive in our neck of the woods in about 50 years. Well, that time has come and gone, so it's due. In the last 30 years, we have also seen a steady uptick in weather anomalies, with earthquakes increasing in frequency and size in a way that is unheard of in recorded history. Basically, they have hockey sticked, or skyrocketed. Not only have earthquakes been way more active, but we have also seen a lot more volcanic activity in the last 15 to 20 years. In the last 10 years, we've noticed that the inner planets, those inside of Jupiter, have increased in core activity, causing these planets to heat from within. Now, all of these are signs that there is another massive body pulling on the inner planets. from a direction other than the sun. So basically, we're caught in a tug of war between the sun and this other entity which we have named Planet X. Then of course we have all the pictures of Planet X and some other abnormal objects in our skies. These infrared images are probably the most popular, but in the last few years there have been many images of two suns in the sky, and people have also captured what appear to be wandering planets, or planets that are not supposed to be there. I myself have seen one of these planets in broad daylight, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Another person captured this phenomenon, and he was only about 40 miles from where I live. Originally, I had thought it to be the moon, but it kept bothering me as I had never seen the moon quite so far away. So when I got home, I looked it up in Stellarium, and lo and behold, it was not the moon. Nor was it any other object that was supposed to be there. At the time, I wished I had taken a picture, but when I went out looking, I was glad to find that someone else, this other guy who was working on a roof 40 miles away from me, had stopped to take a break and looked up, and he found this object in the sky, much as I did, thought it was strange, and he snapped a picture. Now, look at the events of the last 2 weeks. We've had 3 major hurricanes in 2 weeks. The kind of hurricanes you get only once a year or maybe once every several years. To have 3 in 2 weeks is indeed very rare. Add to that the massive 7.1 earthquake that we had earlier today in Mexico City, in addition to all the other large earthquakes that we've had this year, and the plot thickens. Now, let's look at the 2 supervolcanoes that are active right now that scientists are watching closely. First, we have Campi Flegrei in Naples, Italy, which scientists are claiming is becoming more and more dangerous as magma builds beneath the surface. Just 2 days ago, this article came out stating that they have found a boiling magma pool near Naples, and they are watching it closely, as it could be a sign of possible eruption. Then of course we have Yellowstone, which is not only long overdue for an eruption, but it is also showing many signs that an eruption is coming. Last week, an article came out stating that the ground is now deforming in Yellowstone, meaning that the magma below is heating and causing the land to rise. Much like a pot pie, when the crust turns brown and then splits to reveal the hot liquid center, Yellowstone is nearing completion. 2 years ago, we read articles about the roads melting and herds of animals leaving the park in droves, which is a pretty good indicator that something was going on below the surface. Now, coupled with the rising land, it looks like we may see some type of eruption soon. Now, we can only hope that neither of these two have a super eruption, which would pretty much devastate the planet. So when you take all of that into account, you can see why some folks might be worried that indeed Planet X is near, and if it is, any type of collision would be catastrophic. With all of this in mind, we can only watch and wait as the 23rd approaches, and we all get to see what happens. If nothing else, we can all go outside and view a celestial event that will not occur again for the next 7,000 years. And that is pretty darn cool in my book. Get in the comments section and let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you get a free moment, go check out Free Contest Central. All of the free contests online, and you can enter and win for free. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys in the next video.